So I think it was last week or the week before, Jane, I saw somebody, I think it was at a Kiwanis Club meeting, and they said, so things must slow down for the food bank in the summer, eh? And so, you have to go into the answer about no, it's actually still gets pretty busy. But I think also the community is trying to solve certain problems as well about hunger in the summer. It's not just the food bank. So it was last year during the summer that Feed Ontario, which is the collection of Ontario's food banks, put out a study in which it said that the number of kids coming to food banks in the summer had increased over the summer before. And the reason for that was because without school meal programs or snack programs, in the months of July and August, these kids didn't have that. So families then brought their kids, uh, came to the food bank to get help for those things. Now, from what we see, that's happening again this year, right? We're seeing it. You and I have a good friend, Jane Walker, who came to us and talked about how the school that she is in, they were really worried. This was in June. They were really worried about that the kids wouldn't be getting this nutrition over the course of the summer. So we've helped her a bit on that. But I think you and I have been talking about it, and actually, it's not as though this is something new for the community. There's groups that we work with and stuff, but you and I were talking about one particular group that really has organized around this and has done it for a number of years. Can you just go over a bit what they do?
Yeah, there's a group called Investing in Children.
Yeah.
They actually started a couple years after we did back
Oh,
in
they're that.
86. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, we actually used to go and meet with them. I don't know
I
if you
do
remember
remember
that
that.
years and
Yeah.
years and years ago, partly
It,
because schools used to come to us directly for cereal for the breakfast programs, and we actually thought it was much better to work with a coordinating agency.
yeah.
That is now morphed, and there is a whole group that takes care of school lunches, breakfast programs, um, the Ontario Nutrition Network. It's done through VON. The both boards are involved.
Victoria
It's
Nurses,
yeah,
right?
Victoria Nurses. Investing in Children is still part of it,
Yeah.
and then the two school boards. And so throughout the course of the year, they make sure that the schools are covered to the best of their ability. But of course, during the,
The summer.
this is what
Mm.
Jane is highlighting, is that during the summer, those programs are finished because the school's not operating.
In the school directly. That's
That's
correct. Yeah.
correct,
Yeah.
yeah. But Investing in Children runs and has done for a number of years, runs what they call the summer snack shop.
Hmm.
And so it has grown over the years. The food bank actually supports it, has been for the past number of years. But right now, I believe it's about 50 programs.
50. Wow.
Yeah,
Mm.
I that's some of those are summer camps, so they coordinate with the city, and
Mm.
summer camps, some are in libraries, some are in resource centers, some are community-based programs. So they're the programs all across the city where kids gather.
Mm.
And the main idea of those programs is actually, so like at a summer camp, they're not feeding every kid. They've got the bin set aside, and if the camp counselors see a kid that actually needs some help,
They can draw from
they
it.
they can
Hmm.
draw from it.
Mm.
And so every Tuesday they get together, they make their hampers and their baskets, and then in the morning and then in the afternoon they go out and deliver them to all of the different camps that are out there, and it's pretty amazing actually.
Yeah, and it's been going on for years. And I think it's good for people to hear about this because I'm sure there's other schools and others that are concerned about something like this. So I think that that's really good. How invested do you think the food bank is in that? Like, what do we use? Gift cards? Well, how do
Yeah.
we do it?
Well, so what we do is we actually, up until this point, we've been giving them gift cards because that, particularly in the school year program, that's the easiest for each school to manage.
They can individually get
Yeah,
what
and they
they
can figure out
require.
what they want and
Yeah.
those kinds of things. For this, they bulk buy through the gift cards as well, so they
Yeah.
tell us what they want. So actually, we spent $15,000 this year on those programs, and it's apple and oranges and juice boxes
Yeah.
and like
Mm-hmm.
it's the typical snack kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And from what I've been told, we basically support the food, and then they get different grants to actually support the people behind it, and they use volunteers to deliver it out to the community. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, what's amazing in many ways is that people don't know about it. I didn't even fully know about all of it itself till I talked to you last week But I think it's a comforting thing to know that, like, yes, we have hunger in London, and yes, and child hunger has really grown, and nutrition is really an issue now in London, as the local health unit has said. But it's not all despair. There are people that have watched all of this happening and are really out there. They're on the trenches. People like Jane herself,
Yeah,
who are out there really helping directly there.
yeah.
But we, as a food bank, can take the public largesse, what people have good to us, and help to supply those so that it gets there. So in many ways, this is a good news story.
It's a great
Right.
news story. I mean, CBC actually did a story on them a few weeks ago.
Uh,
It has started to increase the number of
yeah.
calls to us of groups looking for some
Yeah.
assistance.
No, that's
So
good.
what we talked about with investing in children, and they're quite prepared to continue coordinating that, because
Yeah.
it's important that that gets done by one group that can look at all of it, particularly if there's never duplication when it comes to need, I don't believe. But if there's a number of community groups in one area but not in another,
Mhm.
they're able to kind of direct some folks who would like to help.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, no, it's been wonderful. They do the lion's share of the work.
Yeah.
It's a program that runs for the 8 weeks of the summer, and it's pretty amazing. Years and years ago, we only helped to the tune of $5,000, so we've tripled that, and
Yeah.
and then of course, as the need goes up, we'll make sure they're covered. That's for sure.
Yeah, we help over 90 feeding programs altogether in the
Yeah.
city. So we're kind of used to all of that, but I think your donations to the food bank, it's good for you to know the reach of them that goes to all of those different places. But, people have expressed their concern about kids going hungry this summer. And, it's these groups that really get the credit for what's
Yeah.
going on, but your generosity allowed us to enable them to expand that into those areas that need to happen. Thanks for that, Jane. Thanks for letting us use your studio. We haven't done this for a while, uh,
No.
so it's been good. And thank you, London, for all the support that you've given. You might think it's a slow summer and not much is going on. There's lots going on, and when it comes to our kids, we can't stop working. We got to make sure they have everything they need. Thanks, Jane.
Thanks.